Alrighty, guys. Countdown to the Geekcast. We're here with Robbie. I don't know if you can see the picture up there.
Can't see it, or are we just pointing?
We're just pointing at
We're pointing at nothing. All right, great.
So, you are known for Michelangelo. You're also known for cousin of the Brady Bunch.
Cousin Oliver, yeah.
Cousin Oliver. But you also did a lot of voice acting.
I did a lot of all kinds of acting. I mean, I started. By the time I started voiceover in my middle 20s, I've been an on-camera actor for 20 years. Well,
he's going to be fired.
About
Kid's going to be fired.
16 or something. I started when I was 10.
Yeah.
So 15 years or so, I'd already been doing on-camera work and stuff. And then voiceover turned into a whole other job that I didn't even know was there until I was already in it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, so I spent the 80s. I feel as though I caught the tail end of voiceover being a really kick-ass job. It's a good job now. A lot of people do it and it's fine. But definitely around, by the time the strike happened, or the 90s, that kind of brought that era to a close. There's a whole new batch now. It's a different business. It's a whole different lot of other things. But so that turned into a whole job after being a camera person for all that time. So, I mean, I have, multiple Chips episodes under my belt. Knight Rider, I did a lot of guest spot stuff. So,
Yeah. My favorite, being an 80s kid, Iron Eagle.
Sure.
Now,
Squirt gun.
yes.
Yeah. As they were calling it. Yeah. It's a strange thing you bring that up because as 80s movies go, I think it has yet to have a resurgence. It has yet, like a lot of movies, like, people have gone back and said, hey, on second viewing, this is a thing. This is a really good thing. And that one has not been saved from the 80s yet. I'm not completely sure why, because I think it's very quintessentially 80s.
Oh, yeah. I definitely see it being a movie they can bring back.
I think so too, of course. Your kid getting out, his dad's in Ukraine, and
Dude, the story is...
no, the story is time tested, of course. And I know I could totally do with a gritty reboot if you ask me. But
so, as your character being the tech guy in Iron Eagle, where would you see him now? Like, if they were to come back to you, would you?
Well, he'd own his own tech company, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Right. He'd probably be making radar systems and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, all the kids who were way early in the computer thing, and you think about it, Iron Eagle is kind of where computers start entering people's homes. It hasn't happened yet.
You had to put the phone on the thing and go.
Right, modems and all that, right. And so all of those characters who are computer savvy in anything in the 80s, if you think of them as adults now, in a real world setting, they're probably kicking butt.
Oh, yeah. So as being the voice acting world from transitioning, you also did the voice in Naruto, you've been in Sonic, but most of all, people, I mean, to this day, TMNT is the biggest, and you being Mikey. When they approached you to do Mikey, how did you take it? Did you see it as like, what is this?
No, I knew about the cartoon.
Okay, yeah, cartoon.
I knew about the comic. I didn't know about the cartoon. Actually, when they said they were making a movie about it, I was like, isn't it a little dark for kids? Oh, grim. The cartoon, the comics were really violent.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, that seems odd, and I didn't really know that they had kind of neutered it for the cartoon.
Yeah.
And then after the first movie did so well, they neutered it for the second one because there's no more weapons. All the weapons are found weapons. It's sausages and whatever, like water weenies. That's what they're fighting with. When I was making the first one, there was talk of like they were afraid that no kids were going to go see it. because it was so grim. And somebody told me once, not once, I've heard it a bunch of times about people that have seen the first movie when they were kids. The second RAF went down. All of these kids were like, "This is a grown-up movie." So there was a little element of that, but Steve Barron knew what he was doing. It was really one of the things I think why the latter day Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies are not as liked is they really don't care about the source material. They just care about the source idea. And so the source material is about something else than what they're doing. And Steve Barron understood that. And I think that's all over the first movie and why we're still talking about it over 30 years later. It's crazy. How many kid movies have come out since 1991? A lot. Look at it this way. No one's even talking about Shark Boy and Lava Girl. You know what I mean? And it was big. It was a big kid movie. Rodriguez did really well with it, and it's not terrible. It's a good movie, but no one's talking about it like they are the Turtle fan.
Yeah, exactly. So where did you find your inspiration? I mean, did you watch the cartoon then when you found out and got Mike?
No, they told me. I think they told me not to. They said don't watch anything. Just do your thing. And basically, I'm just doing Kurt Yaney, who is this surfer kid that I went to high school in 10th grade. Kurt was, 16 years old, and he would get up every day, rain or shine, cold, hot, whatever, get up, drive to the beach, park his board in the sand, and he would sort of squat down by the water, do this for about 45 minutes, looking at the waves. Then he'd pick his moment, he'd go down, he'd go out and go surf for 2 hours. And then he would go to school, sand in his hair, and Kurt Yaney totally talked like this. So we used to kind of make fun of him because of this surfer accent he had. And the surfer accent comes from my neighborhood. It's where, you remember the first song, Valley Girl? Well, all of that surf speak was going on for a couple of years before that, and she's just mocking people that were literally walking around talking like that, of which Kurt was one of them. And so going in for the audition, I was like, just gonna do Kurt Yaney, see what happens.
Dude, I loved it. I mean, his voice was awesome, especially his famous phrase.
It's the one everyone talks about. I mean, I don't, look, however it goes, there's no ego in this. I'm not saying that I'm the most bitchin' of all time or anything like that, but it seems more people come up when they talk, and maybe they talk to Mikey Kelly about something else. Maybe they go, "You're the best Michelangelo ever." I mean, here's a story. I was at a Toys for Tots, Rob Paulson, who is such a great guy. Yeah. So he does a Toys for Tots signing every year at the Improv in Los Angeles. And so I was there for one of them. I'm signing away. I'm sitting next to Greg Sipes, who is the new Michelangelo, and Eastman is behind talking to him. And I'm signing away. And while I'm sitting there, I hear Eastman go, "Yeah, Greg, you're my favorite Michelangelo."
So that's how that kind of works. Back then,
but so I don't know. Maybe everybody tells every Michelangelo that they're the one, but it seems like whenever people go talking, they're like, "Michelangelo 60. The one you did is the one most people have in their head when they think Turtles." I don't, maybe.
Well, see, like for me, the Turtles, I love this one. I love it. And I love Raph because he was a badass. But it was like Mikey was the one that brought the comedic parts.
Yeah, he's the joy in the thing. I mean, if you think about all the other players, Raph is a really dark guy.
Yeah.
And the other two, they're almost more parental.
Yeah, they're like the big brother.
Yeah, the older brother types. Yeah, totally. So and Michelangelo is the he's probably the younger brother that everyone's like, do we have to bring him?
Yeah. Well, like I said, as a kid, of course I got one of the prints from him to sign for me, and of course I had him put his famous phrase, "Wise Man Says." to me, that's like, that stays to me in the movie. Out of all the whole movie, that to me is my favorite part where he's sitting there just waiting, looking at the thing.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. Hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. I like it now that the younger kids, like us that have kids now, being able to introduce them to it now, and now it's like people bring the family. Like earlier, I saw a family coming, took a picture with a family that had, it was basically everybody in turtle stuff.
I don't. It would be rude for me to equate the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to Star Wars, but it's like Star Wars in that
Because I don't watch myself.
there are young people that saw Star Wars and said, when I have kids, I can introduce them to this, and I'm going to be the coolest parent ever in the history of cool parents. That's what happens with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Is that I have seen plenty of guys.
If you see the beginning part is
who saw the movie when they were 7,
just remember.
and now that they have kids, like they come in and the kid's like 3, and he's like, I'm waiting 4 more years for his birthday, and I cannot wait to put my kid in front of the movie and watch the thing with him. And I think it's become generational. That's what I mean by it. You know, it's now a generational experience, and I think it's really beautiful that it's something that parents and kids can come together on, and you know, have a kid go, you know, wow, my parents knew about this.
Yeah.
I think that's really beautiful.
It is. It's definitely. I mean, that's the thing about it. Like, you know, I only have one child, my daughter, Marissa, and her getting into that now. Now she's in her older age, and she's listening to a lot of rock bands I used to listen to back in the day. And it's funny now because when I would listen to it to her, it was kind of like she didn't like it, but now she likes it. You know, and you also have a rock band and perform. And is that like more your relaxation?
Oh, my pleasure, my
kind of thing, or is it
Well, I do all of it for fun. Music is no one can touch it.
Yeah.
So, like, primarily your job as an actor is to be a vessel. Okay, you're a vessel for someone else's words. You're some movable meat for the director. You know, move your meat over here, move your meat over here. And unless you're the producer of the piece, largely you're just part of a larger thing, right? You're part of a larger organizational paradigm that's happening. So everyone is kind of telling you what to do. In music, but especially if I'm the one doing the writing, it's all just pure expression. I can just, you know, whatever it is. Where if I'm, you know, I mean, there's only so much you can do to a character.
That's
You know,
coming from you.
yeah. If it's coming from me, it's one thing. If I'm saying somebody else's words, well, I can't really say the words I want to necessarily. I get asked a lot about my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies, and I always say the third one, which is the one no one likes. But it's the third one because they apparently had a lot of technical issues with the costumes, so the producers relied on the actors to come up with dialogue in troublesome spots. So I've got a bunch of lines in it that I wrote. So of course I'm going to like it because I'm not really saying somebody else. It's my pure expression. You know, as an art person, that's my ultimate goal. You know, it's kind of why, as an actor, I'm getting a little bit like, I hate it when people tell me what to do. You know, I'm just an actor for so long, I'm like, I know what you mean. So music is freedom, I guess. You know, I can just do whatever, and as long as I like it, then that's great. Where I have to be concerned with what other people like doing their music. But I love all of it. I mean, I've been a show off since I was a kid. I was putting on plays for the Dawn, you know, when I was 3, right? I've always been in a place where I was playing violin I was playing piano at 5. I am an actor because I complained to my parents.
Yeah, no, it was great.
I was like, first it was I want to be in a monster movie. Because I was really into the Universal 1930s, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, all that. So I was really into those movies. And I started telling my parents I wanted to be in a monster movie. And I'm so honored. Fine. It's a phase, whatever. And apparently I became so irritated that they took me on an audition just to shut me up. And a big old cattle call, 200 kids, we were there for like 3 or 4 hours, and I got the job. And then when I was done, I said I want to do that again. And they went, and then they took me on another cattle call because beginner's luck, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So we're now 6 jobs deep. I keep coming back and I want to do that again, I want to do that again. We're now 6 jobs deep. I finally didn't get an audition. And all that made me do is go, really? You don't get everyone? The hell you don't. And I just went into over. I did like 150 commercials in the first 2 years. And it was primarily me going, my mom would be like, okay, you bored of this yet? I'm like, yeah.
Just getting started.
I'm just kidding, yeah. And she, she's no longer with us, but back when she was alive, my mom frequently was like, I drove you around for 11 years. A lot of stuff I could have been doing. Like, I wanted to be an actor. What do you want?
Like I said, man, you are lucky that you were able to do acting, voice acting. I mean, that's freaking awesome.
The level of grateful I live with, just in my life, is massive. I mean, I'm not a massively, what one would say, successful performer, right? I've made a living.
Yes.
But I've made a living doing exactly what it was that I wanted to do.
Yeah, and you also got to be in awesome stuff. I mean,
And that's luck. Well, and then on top of it, I've managed to fall backwards into things in almost every decade that we're still talking.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. It's,
And the thing is, that you just,
again, I'm lucky. I'm grateful.
I mean, you set yourself over the Naruto now, because I mean, now that's good. That's
yeah, no, that's
new
gonna
level
have
right
some
there.
things. Yeah, and once the audience for Doctor Stuffings gets old enough, because they're all 4. So it's going to be another 5 or 10 years if Con World still exists.
I mean, I
If
have
Con World
pictures.
still
It's gonna be-
exists, they'll be signing up. They'll be showing up.
When you think about it, San Diego Comic Con started off like this.
How are you?
Look where it's at now, and how big it is. I mean, and now it's cool to be a geek.
I was talking about this earlier. I was in Spain talking to a guy who they have a community there, and he said, I said, so what do you think the biggest changes have been in all of this? We were talking about the history of all of this and how it started with just Comic-Con and this thing. And he's like, the thing that's amazing is now I see girls at these things that would not have been caught dead at a con 15 years ago because it was geeky. And now everyone's embracing their geek, be it, I'm dressed like Sailor Moon, and, I saw pictures being cute, but also full on adorable. What in another time I would be like, she isn't a D&D. You know what I mean? Have model, basically girls who look like models playing D&D.
Exactly.
And so I think the nerds won.
Yes.
And I love that. I think that's a really great thing because the nerds were always in it for the right reasons. The jocks never were.
Well, hey, no, I was a jock. But I had to hide it. I couldn't show that I was a geek because it was kind of like.
But that's my point. That's my point. Jocks would harshly judge you because it's not cool. And Joe Strummer from The Clash. I remember in like '79 or '80, he said, they basically want to make cool. They want to make cool something that's easy to sell. and I didn't know what he meant at the time, but I do now, is that they in the world now, there's things that they say aren't cool. Great thing about Con World, it just was. It was fun. It was cool. It was cool when it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And you can't create that. It just will be. You know, it's like movies like Fifth Element, where when it came out, people were like, "It's fine." Now it's like, "Oh my God, it's the Fifth Element."
Oh yeah. Fifth Element. I mean, and even that too. Like you think about it now, on the actor side of it, you got people like Vin Diesel who play D&D. You know what I mean? And there's even sports people, sports guys who are D&D fans or video game fans. It's everywhere. So it's like
I think video games really help.
Yeah.
Video games really help because now there are people that make a living playing video games online.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Like,
another
and
level
so
right
that
there.
means it made a leap. It made an extra leap from. It made an extra leap into an industry where now there's performers of video games that it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, already, boss, I appreciate you taking the time
It
for
was
the
a
interview.
delight. I enjoyed it.
Next, hopefully bring you.
Sign of the devil.
Thank you.
Bring me back. Give me whatever.
Yeah.